Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network, as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments along with yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, really do appreciate each and every one of you watching, subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button, please. It does wonders for the show and for the network. I really do appreciate it, guys. Hope you had a fantastic week. It's the first Friday in October. Can you believe it? It's already October. Halloween is like 3 weeks away. It's crazy. Weather is still pretty hot here in Southern California, but it's typical. Anyways, hope all of you had a great week and just getting ready for a wonderful, fantastic weekend, whatever you may be doing, wherever you may be. Thank you so much once again for stopping in and listening to this crazy guy talk about sports. Really do appreciate it. Thanks so much. Batting leadoff is my brother-in-law from Las Vegas. Rudy Torres says, Rudy is in the house. Yes, you are, Rudy. Yes, you are. All right, let's get to the first topic. It is a recap of what do you want to say about this game? The final score between the Broncos and the Jets was 10-9. Reminded me so much of last year. And I know I've heard comments from people texting me or calling me and saying, it doesn't look anything like last year. Last year was Russell Wilson, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm looking at the final score, the way the game was played. Yes, it was a lot like last year. Am I saying that Bo Nix is Russell Wilson? No, that's not what I'm saying. There were conditions there. There was a heavy rain from Hurricane Helene. And my thoughts and prayers go out to all of those families who have been devastated, misplaced because their home is gone, people that have passed away, just the devastation. My heart really, really goes out to all of those people. And going back to the game, the Jets and the Broncos played in a torrential rainpour that was kind of like sideways. So it was just really hard. You could see the camera would slow down the video, and you could see the ball just slip out of their hands. Both quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Bo Nix. It was an ugly game. But in the end, the Broncos won. I don't care how they win. People say, wow, it was ugly. I don't care. Who cares? A W is a W, right? Yeah, hello. W is a W. Okay? That being said, the Broncos had a chance to extend the game. It was 10-9. Broncos had a chance to extend it to 13-9. But they missed the field goal. Lutz missed the field goal. Here come the Jets down the field methodically, right down the field. Like Hank Stram used to say, move that ball, trickle it down the field, boys. The Jets had a chance to win it. And the ball went wide right. Thank goodness the Broncos won. It was an ugly game. It was a sloppy game. I mean, obviously it was sloppy in a lot of different ways with the rain and with the play in the field and all that. We'll get into some interesting takes from that particular game. But we'll move on and get down to that in just a little bit. All right. There is you know what? I forgot to do, guys. I am so sorry. Dumb me. I completely forgot to do this. You guys want to know what the topics are. It's my bad. All right, let's click on this real quick because that was the game recap. Wow. I was out of touch because I didn't do this last week. I had Mario Vitanzi on last week, so I was not using this scoreboard, so to speak, or this topic, so to speak. All right, let's move on. And I'm not going to do the transition part. It gets monotonous after a while. I have a lot of topics, so I'll just go to the very next one, and that is the injury update to Tyler Beatty. Now, this is crazy. It didn't look like that hard of a hit. It really didn't look like that hard of a hit. But it doesn't matter how hard it is. It matters where it's hit. All right. Before the Broncos played the Jets last Sunday, Tyler Beatty was signed to the Broncos 53-man roster. Well, there was a scary moment when Beatty took a hit to his ribs and back, and he collapsed on the sideline after walking off or getting to the sideline and needed to be placed on a stretcher, on the stretcher board. It was a flat board that they put people on to keep their back completely straight. And they had secured his head and his body that was strapped in. So that tells me it's a serious injury, or they're taking precautions, obviously. So if he was hitting the ribs and it was the back, so to speak, I mean, it could have tweaked the spine, could have done whatever. They did not want him to move. Let me continue. Sean Payton said of Beatty's injury, and I quote, "There was no update on Bodie's health." I don't know if that's good or bad. Now, I don't know when that was said. Apparently, that was said on Monday, which was 5 days ago. Things could have changed. I haven't read anywhere or gotten any of my contacts as to any updates on Beatty. Let's just hope and pray for the best. Hope and pray for the best. I mean, he was moving his limbs. He moved his leg a little bit. He moved his arm a little bit, but there was still some real serious things going on with Beatty. So hopefully he comes out of it. There's no time frame as to when he can come back. That wasn't divulged if they even know. But like I said, or like I should say, Sean Payton said, there's no update on his injury. That's sad, man. That's sad. I wish him all the best. Wish him all the best. All right. Let's move on to Brandon McManus. Now, if you recall, last year, Brandon McManus and I believe it was the Jacksonville Jaguars he was on, or Washington Commanders. They were on their way to it was Jacksonville. That was right, Jacksonville, because then okay. They're on their way to London to play a game, and he was accused of sexual assault to some stewardesses. All right, let me update that for you right now. Former Broncos kicker Brandon McManus, who was accused by two women of sexual assault, will not face NFL discipline after the league found insufficient evidence that he violated the personnel conduct policy per NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero. Does this sound really familiar about people wanting to take advantage of somebody who is popular? I hit the wrong one. Somebody who is popular, has money. Yeah, of course they do. They try and extort any way they can. But, making things up. Now, somebody brought this up to my attention. What if they asked his teammates, we're not throwing McManus under the bus. We're not doing that. No, I was asleep. We're going to London. That's a long flight. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I didn't know anything about it. If you guys are interested in wanting to know what accusations are, it was just basically grabbing or touching or whatever. That's basically what it was. But some of the guys, his teammates, could say, hey, I didn't see it. I don't know anything about it. I didn't hear anything. I'm sound asleep. I got my headphones on. I'm listening to music, watching a movie, doing whatever. They're not going to rat out their guy. You don't do that. So NFL dropped it. McManus is cleared of any NFL sanctions, or NFL, I should say, suspensions or fines or kicking out of the league, whatever. He's exempt from that, or exonerated or cleared, whatever the word you want to use. So McManus is not going to have an issue. But there is an issue down the road. We'll get into that in just a little bit. All right, let's go to the comments. Kamani is in the house, says no news is good news. That's true. No news is good news. So I'm hoping you're referring to Tyler Beatty, no doubt. Yeah, I'm hoping really, really well that that's the case. I my goodness, he was playing well. He was really playing well, and I hate to see this. I really hate to see this, and I agree with you, Kamani. I wish him all the best and hope he gets back real soon, real soon. All right, Sean Payton on Bo Nix. All right, what does Sean Payton think of Bo Nix? 4 interceptions in the first, or 2 interceptions in each of the first 2 games. 4 interceptions total. He's gotten better in the last 2 games. The Broncos undoubtedly have gotten better because they've gotten wins in the last 2 games. So what does Sean Payton think about Bo Nix? I'll let you know. The Denver Broncos are 2-2 after the first 4 games of 2024. Largely, it's due to the defense. Very true. But Sean Payton has a lot of praise for Bo Nix. Payton said, and I quote, when asked about his confidence regarding Bo Nix, he said, and I quote, I have not lost any confidence in Bo Nix. Heck no. At some point, we'll stop with the confidence questions, all right? This kid is confident. He played well, end quote. Right there, Sean Payton saying, enough's enough. Quit asking about his confidence. Okay, so it was a 10-9 game. The Broncos won the game. He wasn't spectacular, but neither was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wasn't spectacular at all either. It's a rainy, wet, soggy field. And it was that way for, I would say, almost 3/4 of the entire game. It kind of let up later on, and that's when they were able to move down the field and actually get some points and whatnot. But you can't sit there and say he's lost confidence when the situations that he's been handed weather-wise and on the road and just on the East Coast where you had to travel and you lose time and all. I mean, there's a whole lot of ramifications that rear up their ugly head. Lose confidence? No. I didn't see Bo Nix lose confidence at all. Not at all. What I did see was a quarterback that was poised to go down and get that touchdown when they needed it. That was a quarterback that's confident. That's a quarterback that's poised. That's a quarterback that's focused. That's what I'm seeing. Was a game, one to write home about? No, it was 10-9. It was a sweeper for the most part. Doesn't matter. As long as you win, I guarantee you, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road, if the Broncos are continuing to win and we're on our way to hopefully a winning season and a playoff berth, nobody's going to care one iota that the Broncos won 10-9 as opposed to 21-0 or 45-3. No one's going to care. I know I'm not, because I don't care. A W is a W. Okay? W is a W. It's not one of these. All right? It's not one of these. So let it go. Let it go. We got the game. We won the game. Now it's on to week 5. But before we get into that topic, I have to bring some sad news. I know it's not football. Doesn't matter. This guy's an absolute legend. This person should be in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't care. I don't care what he did off the field. It's Hall of Fame is based on what you do on the field, or it should be. Now, if they're taking into consideration what you do off the field, that to me is wrong. Because the Hall of Fame stands for best players in the sport that they're in. Not the best players in the sport that they're in and what they do off the field. No, that's a whole different parameter. Whole different thing. What matters is what you do on the field. And I am not a Cincinnati Reds fan, and I'm not a fan of this particular person for what he did off the field. What he did on the field, absolutely. Absolutely. Here we go. Legendary Major League Baseball player and former manager Pete Rose has passed away at the age of 83. Major League Baseball released this statement And I quote, "We extend our deepest condolences to Pete Rose's family, his friends across this game, and the fans of his hometown of Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Montreal, and beyond who admired his greatness. May he rest in peace." End quote. Rose died from heart issues from diabetes. Very, very, very sad. Pete Rose, yes, he did some things off the field that were not looked at favorably, obviously. What he did on the field as the greatest hitter in all of baseball, stealing home, stealing third, just playing reckless baseball, but playing it the way it should be played, with heart, with integrity, with leadership, and with everything he had. Pete Rose needs to be in Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame for what he did on the field. There are players in the NFL that are in the Hall of Fame that shouldn't be because of what they did off field. Why is Pete Rose singled out? Because the commissioner at the time didn't like him. Whatever reason, doesn't matter. That should never come into play. Ever, ever, ever come into play. It's not, Hall of Fame is not a personal, you get in because I like you personal thing. It's what you do on the football field, the baseball field, the basketball court, the hockey arena, whatever the sport it is. It's based on your merits and what you've done in your sport when you played. Forget about the outside. And I'm not a Pete Rose fan. I'm not. I just love, Charlie Hustle. That's what they called him, because the guy played with heart and he played the game the right way. Oh, sure. He pushed a lot of buttons, just like Bill Belichick does in the NFL when he was head coach. You push buttons. If there's a gray area, you push the button. And that's what he did on the field. Pete Rose passes away at the age of 83. May you rest in peace. All right, let me move on to another sad note. This one touches a little bit more home, and this involves a former Denver Nugget basketball player. Here it is. Former Denver Nugget and Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo passed away from brain cancer at the tender age of 58. Wow. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver released a statement, and I quote, "Dikembe Mutombo was simply larger than life. On the court, he was one of the greatest shot blockers and defensive players in the history of the NBA. Off the court, he poured his heart and soul into helping others." End quote. He is not just a Hall of Famer. He is irreplaceable. I totally agree. I remember watching him. His guy was fantastic. Just an amazing, amazing player. Now, he played on many different teams, but he was an amazing, amazing player. And Mutombo, you're going to be missed, man. You're going to be missed. You were an ambassador for the NBA. You would go around and you would promote the game, and you'd do whatever you could to promote the NBA. And just the way, your smile and your finger all the time, your one finger wave. Yeah, that was Mutombo. And going to be sadly missed, especially in the NBA circles where, like I said, he was an ambassador and he'd go around just promoting the game. Mutombo, may you rest in peace. All right, let's move on to I would say happier news, but this is kind of crazy. This is really kind of crazy. So we're talking about making history. Bo Nix made history in the Broncos 10-9 win over the New York Jets. Huh? He made history? How do you make history on a 10-9 game? I'll get into that because I didn't know this either. It's crazy. Here we go. In last Sunday's Broncos win against the Jets, Bo Nix made NFL history and with a Tim Tebow stat line. Okay, well, Tim Tebow didn't make this particular historic achievement, I should say. Tim Tebow didn't do this, but we're talking about Tim Tebow type of stats. Even though Tim Tebow didn't accomplish what Bo Nix did to get in the NFL history book, he was close. He was close. Here we go. Nix became the NFL's first ever quarterback in the Super Bowl era to win a game with at least 25 pass attempts and an average lower than 2.4 yards per attempt. His average, lower than 2.5 yards per attempt. His average, 2.4. He had 25 pass attempts and averaged 2.4 yards per catch. Yeah, why? Because all they were doing was dumping it off. I mentioned to you guys, it's a pouring freaking rain. You expect him to throw 40, 50, 60 yards down the field? That ain't going to happen. Not going to happen at all. And when it's downpour and it's on the tail end of a hurricane, you're not going to throw the ball that far down the field. So I understand that. 25 pass attempts for an average of 2.4 yards per attempt. Let me continue. Sunday also marked the first since 2007 that a quarterback won with at least 20 passes and 60 or fewer passing yards. Eli Manning won his game in 2007 with 59 passing yards. It's crazy. 20 passes for 60 or fewer yards. That's crazy. There you go. That's 3 yards. That's a 3 yard per pass average. But yet, because of passes that went behind the line stuff, they minus yards, obviously. So Bo Nix averaged 2.4 yards per attempt and set an NFL record where he won a game with those stats. That, if you would have told me at the beginning of the game that Bo Nix was going to throw the ball 25 passing attempts, he was going to throw the ball for completions of 60 yards or less, and he was going to average 2.4 yards per attempt, and the Broncos will win the game, I said, you have lost your freaking mind. You have lost your mind. There is no way that's happening. Well, it did. It did happen. And that is crazy. That is crazy. But that's because the defense was solid and kept the Broncos in the game. Like I mentioned earlier, this game reminded me a lot of last year. Say what you want, guys. Say what you want. Say, no, it doesn't remind me of last year. Russell Wilson was running for his life and he's taking, stupid sacks and blah, blah. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about score. I'm talking about gameplay. I'm talking about what I just stated. 25 passing attempts, 60 yards or less for an average of 2.4 yards per catch. That's what I'm talking about. That's what road game. It was an East Coast game. It was the second East Coast game that the Broncos played because the week before they played Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you got to take in all these elements. And it's pouring rain. I understand. I get it. I'm just saying it looked a lot like last year because of the situation and the elements and the gameplay and all that. I'm not saying don't put words in my mouth, guys. I'm not saying that Bo Nix is Tim Tebow or Russell Wilson. He's not. But that game was really eerily reminiscent of last year, just by virtue of the score and the epness of the or ineptness, I should say, of the offense. But again, the defense kept them in the game, and then there was a field goal attempt by the Jets to win it, and it went wide right. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right, before we get into the next topic, let's go to the comments real quick. I'm sorry. I just got in a roll. My bad. Kamai says, what was the Broncos record last year this time? 1-3. I think it was 1-3. I think it was 1-3, Kamani, if I'm not mistaken. Kamani, I didn't click down there. There you go. Kamani says, Pete Rose, rest in peace. I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah. Kamani, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. He says, I love the passion. Absolutely. I don't know if you're talking about me or Pete Rose. You might be talking about Pete Rose now I think about it. But hey, I'll take some of it anyways. But yeah, Pete Rose's passion for the game was insane. Absolutely insane. Kamani says, rest in peace, John Amos, the father of Good Time. Yes, that's right. You know, I remember watching that show, Kamani. I do. I love that show, Good Times. It was a fantastic show. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, there's a lot of people, the older you get, the more you're going to see this happen. And some of your childhood growing up watching TV shows and things like that, like I did Good Times and John Ritter with Three's Company and on down the line, it's just, yeah, it happens. It's sad. It's sad. Sad to see people that, like I mentioned, people that you watch, whether it's sports figure or television figure, actor, actress, whatever it may be, political figure, that kind of thing. Yeah. It touches different people different ways. That's for sure. Kamani says, wow. Yeah, absolutely. Kamani else follows up, says, thanks to the defense. Well, yeah, if it wasn't for the defense, there's no way we would have won that game. No way we would have won that game. Defense has been solid the last couple of years. Absolutely has been solid. Just got to get the offense to just generate. But hey, Aaron Rodgers, who's a veteran, he struggled in that game. He really struggled in that game. He had balls slipping out of his hands, and there was, overthrows by both players. I mean, just the way the game goes. When you have adverse conditions, it's not ideal. Obviously, it's not ideal. And then that's the reason why you have the overthrows and just drop balls and that kind of thing. All right. We are going to a former Denver Bronco and Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 50 has been suspended again. Here we go. Buffalo Bills and former Denver Broncos defensive end Von Miller has been suspended 4 games without pay for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy by the league. The suspension stems from allegations that Miller assaulted his pregnant girlfriend in November of 2023, almost a year ago. Now, this has been going on for a while, and they've been, NFL's been looking into it and all that. Let me continue. The NFL did not respond to ESPN's request for clarity of the suspension. Interesting. I kind of wonder what the reasoning behind that is. Are they still, diving into it, the allegations, whatever? I don't know. But the NFL doesn't have to make that public. Not at all. So ESPN wants it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the NFL is going to give it up. All right. Miller has denied the allegations and said they are 100% false. Miller said, and I quote, all I can say is it is just a matter of time before everything gets set straight, end quote. Okay. All right. Does that mean that he didn't do it? Or does that mean he may pay his ex-girlfriend or his girlfriend? I don't know if it's ex. I shouldn't say ex. Or is he going to pay her off? It's happened before. Babe, keep your mouth shut. Here's $1 million. You're going to be set for life. Whatever the thing is, keep your lip shut. Don't say nothing. Don't press charges. Nothing ever happened, and you'll be taken care of. This happens all the time. It's a bribery. It's a payoff. People do it all the time. But when you're in a high profile of sports or whatever that your high profile situation is, you're going to get certain people that want to take advantage, whether it's right, wrong, or different. I don't know whether or not he hit her. I don't know if he assaulted her. I don't know. I wasn't there. But now the NFL says that he's suspended, so something's going on. Something's going on. Von Miller has, ever since he left Denver, I don't know. Well, maybe it happened. I think the first one might have happened when he was in Denver, but holy smokes, man. Seriously? Come on, guys. I've said this many, many times. Many, many times. And I could have used Von Miller as a jackass of the week, but I have another one. This one I had to do a jackass of the week because it totally blew my mind. But, these guys, I don't understand their mindset. Get out of the ghetto. Get out of the freaking hood. Get into making your life better. Don't go back down that road. Don't do things you used to do. Change. Be better. Come on, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Now, I can't really verbally say that. I can't put myself in Von Miller's shoes or anybody else that does stupid things like jackass of the week. I can't put myself there because I've never been in their situation. I don't know. But I'm just saying for myself, I mean, common sense says, don't go down that road. Don't do that. I mean, Von Miller even said that, when he was on the Broncos, that, he wouldn't go back to the hood when he went to Houston to visit his family because he didn't want to go down that path again. He didn't want to be caught up in what he used to be. Well, is an alleged assault on a girlfriend going back to the way you used to be? I don't know, Von. Control it, dude. Control it. You're in the NFL. You're an NFL Super Bowl champion. You're an NFL MVP of a Super Bowl. Okay? Quit being down here. Elevate yourself, dude. Elevate yourself. This isn't the Von Miller that I like. This is not the Von Miller I like whatsoever. So, hey. Oh, by the way, it's without pay, Von. So enjoy your four weeks off. Enjoy your month off of work. Okay? Enjoy your month off of work. Think about why the NFL suspended you. Think about it. All right. Let's go back to the chat real quick. All right. Rise and Rhino. Dude, what is up? What is up, my friend? I've been watching your hockey not narrating, but calling the games and stuff like that last year during hockey. It was fantastic. You're great at what you do, man. Thanks so much for jumping in, man. Love it. Thank you so much, man. Love it. Thank you. That's right. I said, what's up, man? What's up? Rise and Rhino is in the house. You got that right, man. You got that right. Kamine says, I think it is more of a publicity stunt by the NFL. Publicity stunt by the NFL involving Von Miller being suspended? How could that be a publicity stunt? You think they're using him as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, not poster child or something like that? Is that what you think it is? Well, I don't know if they can just suspend somebody without pay if they don't have any grounds. I'm not sure they can do that. I mean, maybe, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Kamani. There he goes. Kamani says, once you leave Denver, life is not the same. That's right. There you go. You're right. Denver's, where he's from, Houston, that's a big, big city. Not that Denver's not big, but it's a relatively small state. I mean, you could travel it from the south end to the north end in a day. So it's not that big of a state. Not like Texas, that's for dang sure. Not like Texas, that's for sure. Kamani, you nailed it right there, dude. Right there, you nailed it 100%. Everybody read that. Hood or no hood, stay out of trouble. Absolutely. You cannot go down that road. You've got multi-millions. You're in the NFL. You're looked up to by a lot of young kids. You're looked up to by adults as well. You've got to take the high road. You cannot allow yourself to get trapped. Now, I'm not saying that he's innocent, or I'm not saying she's innocent. but people do bait people into doing certain things. And if you're trying to get baited or somebody's trying to bait Von Miller into something or anybody else into something, walk away. Be the better person. Don't allow it to get under your skin. I have issues with my wife, not all the time, but I have issues with my wife periodically where we don't agree on something. And if she starts saying things or I start saying things and I don't want to say the wrong thing, I walk away. Now, I'm not saying I'm high and mighty, because I'm not. I make a lot of mistakes. I make a lot of things. I'm human. But you got to walk away. There are times I just want to blow up, but I'm not going to, because you can't. You can't. It doesn't help the situation. It only acerbates the situation, makes it worse. Completely worse. You cannot do that. You can't. You got to walk away. Von, learn your lesson. This is the second time that Von Miller's been suspended. First time was 6. This time is 4. You can't allow yourself to get caught in a situation where you just explode. You can't do that. Just saying, you just can't do that. Let's see. Kamani said him not getting paid is not going to do something to him as a millionaire. It's not. I mean, it's not going to hurt him per se. I mean, if you're a millionaire and it's not going to hurt you per se, but it's still not good. I mean, it's still not good. So, I mean, and forget the money aspect. It's what he is accused of and what the NFL deemed enough evidence to warrant suspending him. And I hate to see it. Like I said, I love Von Miller. I got a Von Miller jersey with the Super Bowl 50 patch right here. I love that. I love that Super Bowl. I love that year. I love Von Miller. Just lost a lot of respect for him. Just lost a lot of respect. And that hurts. That hurts because, we all look up to our favorite players and we go, man, I like to be that guy. I like to be in his position, his shoes. I don't think I'd like to be in his shoes right now. That's all I'm saying. I lost a lot of respect for Von Miller as a person, not as an NFL player, but as a person. Just like I mentioned about Pete Rose. As a player, fantastic. Off the field, not so much. Not so much. All right. Kamani wants to know why the NFL waited so long to suspend him. I think they were gathering evidence because he was suspended 6 games for something else. This was something that NFL was looking into last year. And I just think that they just didn't have enough evidence, or they're looking for something, or something was brought to their attention. Maybe it was like a cold case where, like, okay, nothing came of it. Maybe the girlfriend brought up some more issues. Maybe the girlfriend had some medical paperwork or something that they showed the NFL. I don't know what the situation or circumstances is. All I know is all of a sudden the NFL suspends Von Miller 4 games for personal conduct detrimental to the NFL. That's all I know. That's all I brought. And so, we'll just see where this goes. So very, very interesting, though. Very, very interesting that this did come up again almost a year later. All right. Okay. So Kamani says, yes, when you are a movie star, a sports star, you got people trying to get you money-wise, all that kind of stuff, or fame or whatever. And so he says he agrees with me. Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're a target. You're a target. You're basically a target out there for people who want to take advantage. And they will do anything and everything they can to take advantage. And that is very, very sad. But that's why you got to stay on your guard. These athletes shouldn't go out, nightclubs or, movie, whatever they're doing, wearing all the bling and all this kind of stuff, driving up in a freaking Rolls Royce. No, man. No, get a limo. Get dropped off from a limo or something. People take limos all the time that aren't millionaires. Go incognito. Do whatever. You don't need to parade yourself as who you are out there in the public, because they're going to want to take advantage. Plain and simple. All right. Let's go to the next topic, which is Broncos players that are on IR that could come back this week against the Raiders. Here we go. Some Bronco players may be eligible to come off of IR this week. One of those players is Damari Mathis, okay, who had an ankle injury. It remains to be seen if Mathis is fully recovered, however. Outside linebacker Drew Sanders and safety Delarian Turner-Yell are also eligible to return this week. That's great news. You know why? The Raiders have a ton of injuries, a ton of people that are not active for this Sunday's game. And that's fantastic because, hey, I'm not advocating that these guys are out for the entire year. But what I am advocating is they're out for this game. Hey, it happens. Let them be out for this game. I have no problem with that. You know, people say, yeah, well then, you know, Broncos got a break. Hey, it happens in every sport. Every sport it happens. You'll have a pitcher in baseball in a short series or a World Series, something that's injured. He can't play in there. Now you've lost a key guy. You have a quarterbacks that go down. You have wide receivers that go down. You have people that are out of games, and it does impact what you can and cannot do. That's why they always say next man up. Is it really going to be the next man up? Are they really going to fill those gaps? I'm telling you, the Raiders have a rap sheet, not rap sheet. Well, for them, it might be a rap sheet, but they have an injury list of like this. Denver has one like this. I mean, yes, there are key players on the Raiders that will not be playing. But the Broncos also have key players too. We don't have Singleton. He's out for the rest of the year. You know, we have injuries ourselves. But the bottom line is they have more injuries than Denver has injuries. And you know what? If Denver's going to be getting back some of those players, that only helps on the bottom line. That only helps the bottom line. Absolutely. If a player goes down or you need a defensive different alignment, different scheme, different setup, whatever, you've got these guys that come back in and fill that spot. You don't need to have the player that's there that doesn't really fit in when these guys come back do. That every time you get players back, that only helps the team. That only helps the team get stronger and better. What do I think about the Bronco Raider game? I'll get into that. That's the very last topic. I will get into that, and you will know exactly how I feel. All right, let's go back to the comments real quick. Let's see. Rudy Torres, my brother-in-law from Vegas, says it's hard to be humble. Well, you know, yeah, when you're an athlete, you're a politician, you have all of these accolades thrown at you, all these accomplishments. You're in high power, you're high profile, whatever it may be. Yeah, it's going to be hard to be humble, but that's when you really got to work at it. That's when you really got to sit there and say, no, I'm able to do this because of the athleticism that God blessed me with. That's what you should be saying. It's not all about you, dude. It isn't all about you. Yeah, you have the ability because that's what you were given. That's what you were blessed with when you were born. That's what you worked that hard at as growing up and into your profession. Okay? So you got to check it, man. Check it at the door. Check it at the door. Check it at the field, whatever it is. Make sure you stay humble. Make sure you stay grounded. Don't let this stuff get away from you guys. You can't. And I know it's easier said than done, and I'm not in their position. I get it, guys. I totally understand it. I get it. I'm not trying to say I have been there because I haven't. I'm just saying, guys, you try and do your best. Try and do your best and be as humble as you possibly can. Appreciate the game. Do what LaDainian Tomlinson would do. He get in the end zone. I'm not a Charger fan by any stretch of imagination, but I appreciate people who understand that they've been there before and they're humble. You come in there and you do that little teardrop, kind of drop the ball. Terrell Davis would get in the end zone and do the mile high salute. Why? Because he was not taking what he did for granted. He did not. He appreciated it. He gave it back. He recognized it. That's what I'm talking about. Be humble. Be humble. Wow, the chat's blowing up. Okay. Alex, welcome to the chat, my friend. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Alex says, Rudy, it's not that hard. Look at Peyton Manning as being humble. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Be humble. Act like you've been there before. Don't take anything you've done for granted, because it can be snapped up in a heartbeat. Snapped up in the injury. Look at Terrell Davis. Not that Terrell Davis took it for granted, because he didn't. But look at Terrell Davis. His career was cut short. Look at Sterling Sharp, Shannon Sharp's brother. His career was cut short. It happens. Don't take it for granted. Appreciate it. Respect it. And act like you've been there before. And don't be haughty. Be humble. All right. Okay, so let's see. Oh, wow, I didn't know this. Alex said Miller likes to drink and party. He must be doing SMT, doing something, repeat offense. Yeah, he must be doing something, because you're right. I mean, it's repeat offense. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah, Kamani says, thank God Adams is not playing Sunday. Absolutely. We're talking about Javonte Adams. No, not. Yeah, Javonte Adams. He's out too, not playing. Clayton Haram, my man, what are you doing? How's it going? Hey, guys, he said, smash that like button and share. I absolutely agree. Please do so, guys. It costs you nothing, and it does wonders for the chat. Really do appreciate it. I mean, chat. I keep saying that. Does wonders for the show and for the network. Really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Alex, you know what? You could be right. She's probably the aggressor. But even then, you've got to put your hands up and say stop. We're talking about the Von Miller that he's suspended for 4 games. You got to just say stop. Stop. Leave the house. Do whatever you got to do. I know it might be his house. Don't retaliate. That's all I'm saying. Don't retaliate, because the police are going to defend her. The police are going to defend her, especially if it's Von Miller. And I'm not saying because it's Von Miller, but because he's an athlete. He's a high profile. They're going to defend and support the female. It's always going to happen. You have to know that. Walk away, step away, back up. Don't do anything foolish. That's all I'm saying. Don't do anything foolish. Clayton Haran, my gosh, man, you're the best, man. You're the best. Great way to top off a Friday night. Thanks, man. Oh man, light out defense. No fly zone part 2. Yep, I would have to agree. No fly zone part 2. Although somebody told me it was the orange, instead of the orange crush, it was the orange rush, because of our full blitz onslaught and things like that. I kind of like no fly zone part 2. I also like no rush. The no rush defense. I like that. Or actually, I guess it'd be the orange rush where they rush in, or the no rush where they stop it. I don't know which one. Either one, I like it all. As long as we get W's, guys, you can call the Broncos whatever you want. Except don't call them donkeys. Because a donkey and a horse is not the same. A donkey and a horse is not the same. It's not. Any more than a coyote is the same as a regular house dog. It's not the same. Similar, yes. Not the same. So you can't say that the Broncos are donkeys, because you're wrong. Any more than you can say the Miami Dolphins are fish. And I hear it all the time. Well, the Broncos are playing a fish. No, they're not. They're playing a mammal. A dolphin is a freaking mammal. It's not a fish. The Marlins are a fish. The Dolphins are not. Stop it. It's not the same. Not even close to the same. Whew. Okay, I got off my soapbox. Man, you guys got me all spun up, man. Crazy. Kamani Dixon. Where did I click? Kamani Dixon says Clayton Sea-Dog Haran in the house. You got that right. Love these guys. Love you guys. You guys are energetic tonight, man. You guys are energetic. You're chatting like crazy. I love it, man. I love it. Clayton, I'm sorry to say it, man. Sorry to hear it. He goes, my damn Brewers, bud. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, bud. At least you made it to the playoffs. Cubs didn't even make it. So I'll tell you what, the Mets were tough. The Mets were tough. I didn't see the game last night. I was busy doing other things. I thought for sure the Brewers would win it. They were ahead. And I thought, okay, it's going to be a Brewers Phillies matchup. Nope. Phillies, Mets, Dodgers, Padres. Going to be crazy, man. I'm going for the Padres. My grandson's a big Padre fan. My nephew, Bobby, who's usually in the chat, is a huge Padres fan. So you gotta go for them. But I'll tell you what, man, it's been that baseball. It's crazy, fickle sport. Crazy sport, man. Sorry to hear that, Clayton, man. Sorry to Clayton. Hey, Kamani says Bill's lying again. He knows he is a Chargers fan. Where's Mike? Mike, I don't know, but I am not a Chargers fan. Just saying. I know you guys all like playing that Chargers card, which is fine. I roll with it. It's all good. I have no problem with it. But in reality, I am not a Chargers fan. Just for the record. All right. Now, here is this week's Jackass of the Week.
You suck, you jackass.
All right. You see what that? Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? Uh-oh. How come it's not on here? Oh, because I can do it anytime I want. That's right. All right. This is the Jackass of the Week. So since it's a Jackass of the Week, I'm going to click out of this. And I'll get back to it. That way it's off the board, you guys. Today. This is this week's Jackass of the Week. Listen to this, guys. Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Shahi Rice's mom is accused of stealing a package with Chappelle Roan records from a neighbor's porch. His mom stealing a package off of somebody's porch? Who does this? Who freaking does this? Hang on. Listen to this. Talk about stupid. Talk about idiotic. Listen to this. Just hours after her son's injury last Sunday. She did this just hours after her son's injury. So what does she do? She sits home. She's watching the game. Oh, my baby got hurt. Okay, I gotta go steal something. What the heck? What the? It's even more stupid. Even more stupid. Listen to this. The theft was caught on camera. Everybody's got cameras. I do. I got cameras. Everybody's got cameras. The theft was caught on camera with her wearing a Mama Rice jersey. Dude, I'm not making this up. You can't make this stuff up. People wouldn't believe you if you made it up. I've got it right there. It's legit. Can you believe that? So Rashee Rice gets injured in the Kansas City Chiefs game. His mom, just a few hours after he got injured, decides, I think I need to steal something. I need to go get something. I need to go get me a package. Off she goes. Oh, by the way, since she's watching the game, apparently, she's got Mama Rice jersey on. And she's captured on camera stealing a package. I'm dumbfounded, guys. I am absolutely dumbfounded. I thought I've had some crazy Jackass of the Week topics, but holy crow, holy smokes. I cannot believe that one. A mom. How do you think her son feels? How do you think Rashee Rice feels? Here he is injured, and he finds this and he's like, Mom, what are you doing? Why are you stealing? I can buy you anything you want. Why are you freaking stealing? Why are you doing this? Well, I needed something to calm me down because you were injured. I don't know what her thought was. Good gosh. I don't know what else to say. I have nothing else to say. So with that, I don't have nothing else to say. let's back out of this week's Jackass of the Week.
You suck, you jackass.
All right. Now, before we get to the next topic, we'll go back to the chat. That is unbelievable. Let's see. Okay, so Clayton Ron says, I'm starting to love Moss at corner. Mini PS2, he thinks. You know, he's doing really well. He really is. Moss is really doing well. And he stepped it up in that Jets game. But albeit, I mean, there was a lot of bad passes. But hey, you know, if it's coming your way, you got to defend them. You got to do what you got to do. But because that game was, you know, rainy conditions and all that, yeah. But Moss is looking really good. Looking really, really, really good. I like that. I like that. And of course, PS2 is PS2. He's a shutdown corner. Absolutely. No doubt about it. I mentioned that last week in my show. And if he's not the best corner in the NFL, I don't know who is. I don't know who is. Clayton follows up by talking about Moss. He says he's physical, he's fast, and he can tackle. Well, that's what we need. You need speed. You need physicality, and you need to be able to tackle. There ain't no doubt about that. If you can't tackle, you shouldn't be in the NFL. You know, I mean, that's just bottom line. I mean, doesn't get any more black and white than that, does it? Can't tackle, you can't play in the NFL. Might as well play baseball. You know, I mean, it's the way it is. All right. NFL kickoff rules. Yep. They could be changing. Here we go. The NFL is mulling a rule change of the kickoff touchback where the ball is placed at the 35-yard line instead of the 30-yard line where it is now. I've said that last week talking to Mario or having Mario Vatangi on the show. I mentioned that last week. If the ball is constantly being kicked in the end zone and only goes out to the 30-yard line, why not make it the 40-yard line? Now you're almost at midfield, and now the teams are not going to kick it to the end zone because they don't want the ball to come dang near out to midfield. And if that doesn't work at the 40, put it to the 45. Why not? Make these guys return the kick. That's what it's all about. That's why it's called a kickoff return team. Not a kickoff kneel down the end zone team or a kickoff let's just go through the end zone team. No. Kickoff return team. Got it, guys? That's why it's there. Otherwise, don't put nobody on the field and just put the ball at the 25 or put the ball at the 30. And that's basically what it's getting to be. Put the ball at the freaking 40. Well, the NFL committee is starting to think about taking it from the 30 to the 35. Let me continue. This, however, would not take place till possibly 2025, if at all. I quote Roger Goodell. We always said it was a work in progress. I guess if I had to grade it, I'd say it's an incomplete right now. End quote. Talking about the way it is now. It's totally incomplete because it's only going out to the 30, whereas before it was going out to 25. What's 5 more yards? Who gives a frosty? According to the people that are kicking it, I say it's stupid. Why are you giving them 5 free yards? Make it up to the 40. That will change the mindset. Let me continue. And I'm going to quote Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell concluded by saying, and I quote, I think there will be a change, whether we make it immediately or after the season. We're going to have a competition committee in the next week or so, end quote. There you go. They're already talking about changing it. Why? Because it hasn't really worked. It hasn't worked. They don't want the ball being kicked into the end zone. So they have this, what they call safety zone or catch zone or whatever they call a thing, return zone, whatever. That's where they want the ball kicked. But they're not. They're kicking the end zone because they don't care if they put it at the 30-yard line because it was in the 20. I was off the 25-yard line last year. So they don't care. Put it to 30. I say 40-yard line, 40-yard line, because that will keep them from putting it into the end zone. You put it in the end zone and the ball goes to the 40-yard line and you have a strong field goal kicker and you only need 3 points to win the game or tie the game or take the lead. Yeah. You're only like, 20 yards difference, 25 yards maybe. That's nothing in the NFL. But when the ball's placed at the 30, now you got 35 or 40 yards to go. Doesn't make any sense to just put it to 30. Should always have been at the 40. And I know the NFL doesn't want to make drastic leaps because it freaks out the fan base and it freaks out the players and the coaching staff and the teams and it freaks everybody out. It doesn't freak me out. Make the game better. Make the game better. Make it to where you want the game to be what the game is, and that is football, not in the end zone, and then you bring out to 30. No, that's ridiculous. That's just dumb. I never liked it to begin with, and I still don't like it now. So I hope they do change it. And if they do change it, and if they go to the 35, I hope that might solve it. I doubt it. I say 40-yard line. I say 40-yard line. I don't care. Then the Broncos won't kick it in the end zone. Then if the ball's going to come out to the 40, I guarantee they're not kicking in the end zone. It's just gonna make it for a better overall game, completely better overall game. Clayton Huron asked this question in the chat before we go to the next topic. Says Champ Bailey or PS2? Wow. Well, Champ Bailey's in the Hall of Fame, right? If Champ Bailey's in the Hall of Fame, then guess what? I'd have to say he's better than PS2 on his career. Now, is Champ Bailey better than PS2 at the same stage in their careers? No, I'd say PS2 is much better than Champ Bailey early on in his career. But we shall see where PS2 takes this. Obviously the ceiling is there for him to get. I mean, his career can go way, way up here. Can he match Champ Bailey? Oh, I think he can. No problem. No doubt about it. I think he can. If he stays healthy, and he plays his entire career with the Broncos, the only reason why I say the entire career with the Broncos is because of familiarity. You know, the ownership, the coaching staff, you know, the players around him, that kind of thing. Is it going to change how he plays? No, it could. It could with coaching staff. That's why I say stay what you're doing. Stay what you're doing, PS2. But early on to answer your question, Clayton, I say early on, PS2 is much better than Champ Bailey. Now, Champ Bailey was great throughout his entire career, but I think early on, PS2 has a little bit of an edge over Champ Bailey. And if Champ Bailey's in the Hall of Fame, then hopefully PS2 can get there in the next 10, 15 years. All right, let's go back to the topics. This one is all quarterbacks ranked by ESPN through the first 4 games of the season. This is how the quarterbacks, all 32 quarterbacks. Now, I didn't list all 32 quarterbacks in here. I only chose the top 10 and then the AFC West quarterback ranking. Here it is. ESPN's total QBR ranking are out for the first 4 games of the season. How the rankings work from ESPN's QBR system is quarterback passes, rushes, turnovers, and penalties. Meaning, false start, that's on that they calculate that to the quarterback, that kind of thing. All right, here we go. After week 4, here are the top 10 quarterback ratings. Here we go. Number 1, Josh Allen, 82.3. Number 2, Andy Dalton, 76.1. 3, Sam Darnold, 73.5. Jaden Daniels, 73.3. Number 5, Brock Purdy, 73.3. 6, Joe Burrow, 70.8. Number 7, Lamar Jackson, 68.8. Number 9, Kyler Murray, 68.1. Number 8, Kyler Murray, 68.1. Number 9, Derek Carr, 64 even. And number 10, Geno Smith, 63.9. Huh? I don't see any AFC West guys in there. No AFC West quarterbacks in that list. Here's we go. The rankings for Bo Nix is at number 20 with a rating of 49.5. Listen to these. Patrick Mahomes, number 17 at 52.9, slightly above Bo Nix, and yet undefeated at 4-0. Okay, so winning games is not all about the quarterback. It's not all about the quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is listed at number 17, 52.9. They're 4-0. Broncos and Bo Nix, number 20, 49.5 ranking, and we're 2-2. Gardner Minshew is ranked number 26 at 41.5. Okay, where does that leave Justin Herbert? Number 27 at 41.4. So the entire AFC West ranked quarterbacks, including Patrick Mahomes, is outside the top 10. In fact, outside the top 15, because Patrick Mahomes is at 17 at 52.9. Wow. What do you make of that, guys? What do you make of that? Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are 4-0, and he's ranked at number 17th quarterback? Well, like I said, it's not all about the quarterback. It's about defense. It's about circumstances. It's about situations. It's about a lot of things. It's not always about the quarterback. But I found that extremely interesting that Patrick Mahomes and the entire AFC West, for that matter, quarterback ranking was completely outside of the top 15 of the 32 teams in the NFL. Wow. Very, very interesting. All right. The Denver Broncos are playing the Las Vegas Raiders this Sunday at Mile High Stadium. Power Field, whatever, but I call it Mile High, in Denver this coming Sunday, week number 5. All right. It's also throwback week. This is interesting, and I have a little take on why I think they're using these throwback uniforms in this game. Here we go. This Sunday's game against the Las Vegas Raiders, the Denver Broncos will be wearing the 1977 season throwback uniforms. Garrett Bowles said about the uniforms, and I quote, "It's super cool. We get to bring back the old history of this organization and so many of the greats to ever play in this franchise history. So to be able to throw back that jersey is awesome." End quote. In 1977, the Denver Broncos beat the then Oakland Raiders to earn the right to go to their first ever Super Bowl in 1978. The Super Bowl is, of course, the next following year. It's in January. So the season was 1977. The throwback jerseys were from 1977. Unfortunately, Denver lost to the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 27-10 in that Super Bowl. That score of 10 really doesn't sit well with me in any Broncos Super Bowl. And the main reason why is we've had so many losses where we've had 10. We lost to the Cowboys 27-10. We lost to the San Francisco 49ers 55-10. We lost to the Washington Redskins. No, they weren't Commanders then. We lost to the Washington Redskins 42-10. So that 10's a bad number for the Broncos. And when the Broncos got a 10-0 lead on Carolina in Super Bowl 50, my butt cheeks were tight. Tight butt cheeks. Why? Because we had the number 10. I'm like, oh, no, here we go again. Here we go. Thank goodness it didn't end that way. But it scared me. It did scare me big time. So here's my take on the reason why I feel that the Broncos are pulling this throwback uniform out. Here's the reason. All right. The Broncos were the stepchild to the Raiders in all of those years. The Raiders were then what the Kansas City Chiefs are now to the AFC West. They were always winning the division. The Broncos were always the stepchild, could never get over that hurdle. Well, when they beat the Raiders that year, and I remember that game so well. I was watching the game. When we beat the Raiders that year to go to the Super Bowl, and we defeated the then Goliath and the Broncos were David. And the Broncos went to their first ever Super Bowl. The Broncos lifted the then head coach, Red Miller, on their shoulders and carried him off the field. If you guys haven't seen that, go back on YouTube and type in Denver Broncos, Oakland Raiders, 1977 AFC championship, or I think it was it was an AFC, I believe. Yeah, championship game. It was phenomenal. You got to go see it. It was fantastic. Anyways, the Broncos have that uniform. They're wearing that uniform that they're going to be wearing again this Sunday. And I think it's a way for the Broncos to send a message not only to the players, not only to the fans, but to the Raiders saying, hey, we beat you with this uniform in 1977 to snap an offer back then that we can never get over the hump. Well, guess what? We haven't beaten the Raiders since 2019. 2019. So this is a message, in my opinion, that the Broncos are saying, hey, we're breaking out those uniforms because we want to duplicate what we did back in 1977. We want to break a streak that we need to break. And the Broncos need to break this streak. And I totally believe that's the reason why they broke these out. Absolutely. And I'll be wearing my white one, the one that I wore last Broncos neighborhood. I'll be wearing it again this coming Sunday, Broncos neighborhood, in hopes that we can definitely snap that losing streak that we have to the Raiders. Do it with the old throwback uniforms. Do it with the in your face. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it hard, that kind of thing to the Raiders. And let's get a W this week. Can we, guys? Can we please continue this win streak? Let's win 3 in a row. Let's snap the Raiders stranglehold that they have on us for the last 4+ seasons. All right, guys, let's do that. All right, let's get into the very last topic, and that takes me to the Broncos Raiders prediction and my thought about this game. Guys, thanks so much for hanging with me. We're a little over an hour and 12 minutes into the show. This is the last topic. I thank each and every one of you week in and week out for being part of this show, being active in the chat, just being active, just watching, listening, wherever you may be. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so, so very much. I absolutely tip my hat to you guys. Always will. All right, here it is. The Las Vegas Raiders have a lot of their players out for this game. Mentioned that earlier. However, on any given Sunday, they can win like they did against the Ravens a couple of weeks ago. What do I think is going to happen in this game? I have no clue. Which Gardner Minshew are we going to see? Which Bo Nix are we going to see? Are we going to see a Bo Nix that was doing fantastic and lights out against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Or is it going to be a game, and I know it was a sloppy field, but is it going to be a game like it was against the Jets? Is it going to be indecisiveness? Is it going to be? I don't think there's going to be any bad weather in Denver at this juncture. I really don't. So I'm throwing the weather conditions out. All right, I'm throwing them out. So should I say which Bo Nix are we going to see? The game that was against Seattle, the game that we lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, or is it going to be the game that we saw against Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Or even the drive that we had to have against the Jets that put us ahead that ultimately was the game-winning points? Which Bo Nix are we going to see? Which Gardner Minshew are we going to see? Well, with the Raiders, with a lot of injuries and players out, the Broncos have to take advantage. They absolutely have to take advantage of the opportunity to pounce on the Raiders often and early and often. They have to. No turnovers. You can't have turnovers. You got to play smart. You can't play. Don't play into their hands. Have them play into Broncos' hands. Don't be stupid. Don't throw into double coverage or triple coverage. If the play is not there, live to play another day. Don't throw the ball away. Don't throw the ball into harm's way. Don't fumble the ball. Hang on to it with both arms. Absolutely. Be smart. Field position. What it takes for the Broncos to win this game is offensive dominance. Stay on the field. No turnovers. Minimal penalties, if any. And field position. Pin them back deep. Force the Raiders to have to go down the field. They don't have Adams. They don't have Adams. We take advantage of the Raiders players not being there, that's not the Broncos' fault. You got to play who's on your schedule. Take advantage of the players that aren't there. Take advantage of field position. And if you do get turnovers, Denver, make it count this time. Not just field goals, touchdowns. Take advantage. If you have to settle for a field goal, I guess that's okay. Points is points. We need touchdowns. We need touchdowns. We got to break this stranglehold that the Raiders have on us. We broke the one last year against the Chiefs. We need to break the one against the Raiders this year. And it starts this Sunday with the throwback jerseys that the Broncos wore in 1977 to dethrone the Raiders as the champions heading into the Super Bowl. The Broncos won that game, went into the Super Bowl, albeit they lost, but they still sent a message to the Raiders that is now being resurrected with these throwback uniforms for this Sunday's game at Mile High Stadium. Let's get a win. I have a prediction, and I'm a little bit leery about saying this because I don't want to jinx anything, but the last 2 times that the Broncos have won, I've said the Broncos will lose. I'm not saying that this time, and I'm hoping I'm not jinxing it. Final score, I have it Denver 19, Vegas 17. Broncos will prevail. It's going to be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout whatsoever because the Raiders and the Broncos know each other. So it's going to be a close game. Broncos 19, Raiders 17. That's my thought. That's my comment. That's my prediction. I don't know, guys, what it's going to be. I really don't. I'm going to get out of here. Oh, there we go. I don't know what it's going to be. I have no idea whatsoever, but I'm saying 1917, just a gut feeling. First thing that came to my mind when I thought about it and went over it in my head, that's what I came up with. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. It just helps out tremendously. The channel, the network. You can subscribe on MHRT Network as well as Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. My channel. All you have to do is look for this symbol. Let me get right back to it. Look for this symbol right up here in the top left-hand corner. That's my channel. Go there, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Lets everybody know that you like the show and you appreciate the topics and this crazy guy talking about sports. Really do appreciate it. I want to go down the list. Thank each and every one for being in the chat like I always do. Those of you who are not in the chat, I want to recognize you as well. I'm seeing this on YouTube. There's 53 right now on YouTube Live. Really do appreciate it, but there's only 2 thumbs up. I got 51 more thumbs up to go, guys. Please hit the thumbs up. I really, really would appreciate it. Thank you guys so very much. Going down the list, leading off, it was Rudy Torres, my brother-in-law from Vegas, followed by Kamani Dixon. Then it was Alex in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Rising Rhino, man, thank you so much for jumping in. Really do appreciate it. It's awesome, man. Really awesome, man. Haven't seen him in a while. It's really great. Going down late, Clayton Haran. Really do appreciate Clayton being in the chat as always. You guys are fantastic. You're the backbone of the show, no doubt about it. I would not and could not do this nearly as well as I do. You guys interact. You're the best part of the show. There's good interaction. You guys give me the energy. You make me think at times. You make me you correct me sometimes, which I really appreciate. But you guys are what makes this show run. You're the best, and you guys have a fantastic Friday evening and a Broncos weekend. Enjoy your days off, whatever you may be doing, wherever you may be. Thanks again, guys, so very, very much for putting up with the 66-year-old crazy guy that talks Broncos football as well as other things. You guys are the best. We will see you on. If you're around, we do the Broncos neighborhood this coming Sunday, 1:00 Pacific time, 2 Mountain, 3 Central, and 4 Eastern time. We do Broncos neighborhood. It's where just a bunch of us get around and just talk about different crazy stuff as well as the game. And until next Friday, guys, have a fantastic Friday evening and the rest of your weekend. We will talk to you next Friday. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so